Gemini, this is your 2025 Sun, Moon, Rising yearly reading. So let's just get into it. So you're going to be having some kind of sudden spiritual awakening, or there's going to be some news that comes in. This is divinely orchestrated news or messages from guides or something like that that is leading you to some kind of shocking revelation of some sorts. I have here the cross with the tower card that just gives me like sudden shakeup. Something could feel burdensome initially, but I feel like it's positive in the end, that it like allows you to get on the right path. It could have to do with some sort of life milestone or relationship goals, but let's just keep going so we can dig deeper. You did come out on the bottom of the deck in reverse here with the Magician in reverse, and I have the Child card at the bottom of the Lenormand. Okay. So, new beginnings, and there's like this, I don't even know, it's in the upright you have the resources. You might be feeling like you don't have enough resources to make this new beginning happen. There is something here about feeling kind of constrained with resources. I don't know if it's necessarily financial, because it doesn't really look like your financial sector is doing too bad, but maybe there's something else that you need. I mean, sometimes we need things that are tangible, but yet not money related, and I think that's hard for people to wrap their head around sometimes. But in this case, I think that it might be having to do with somebody else being on the same page as you in terms of a relationship, whether it's a family dynamic or like an immediate family dynamic, or a like romantic relationship. Because I have in your what you're aware of, you're aware of the growth that you need or that you want, how you want to, how much time something is taking as well. The Star card here is about the future, right? It's about goals, it's about wishes. This can also be about money as well, the letter. And it's close enough to the tree where I can see it as a money kind of thing. So you're aware of what you need in order to make something happen, but you might have to be a little more patient about getting to the finish line, or like your own timeline versus divine timing. What you're thinking about, what you're aware of, there's this new beginning that you're very passionate about growing something, about starting something new that excites you. There is a couple involved, and they may be family members. They may live close to you in your neighborhood. This couple, the man is a little, I don't know, he's not necessarily in his best form. I feel like the woman, they're very similar in a lot of ways. But the woman is the one that is attracting what she wants. He is more trying to go about alternative means to get what he desires. I don't know if this is like a sexual kind of relationship, or if this is just a family kind of thing. Maybe these people, you're friends with them. There's something here about planting a seed in order to, like, you're aware that the seed has been planted, but you're waiting for it to grow, and it's going to take time. And this person, this I'll say man here because it's a man in the card, doesn't have to be, is the one that's maybe not able to participate in this endeavor, or is giving a lack of interest in this. It could be just taking the relationship to a next level. It could have to do with having children as well, because I do have the stork here, down at the bottom here. Something is not being brought up by this man, or he's taking his time a lot longer than what the Queen of Wands would want. She's kind of saucy, and in a good way. She's got some spice to her. She's talkative, knows how to engage with others in order to attract what she wants. And he, however, might be operating from a place of inadequacy, or I don't know what it is. I really don't. He might be feeling some shame. I'll say that. He might be feeling some shame about something. He's unable to come forward and be his true, authentic self because he's being held back by this guilt, this shame of some kind. In the past, there was some sort of inability to emotionally be there from somebody. And I have the Man card and the King of Cups. So I'm going to just say man, but place it how it needs to be in your life. And it seems like because there was a lack of emotional receptivity, or a lack of emotional maturity, it was very painful, or you had to cut this man out. Something here about, just quickly leaving your life. This could be a ghosting situation if it's a romantic relationship. And it's in that kind of romantic sector. I read it as the 5th house as well. So it's kind of giving me like a romantic relationship that has taken a long time to mature, and that you might have gone back to in the past, over and over again, like cyclically. I don't have any cards that are cyclical. Actually I do. I have the moon here. I have the moon. Okay, so it could be a cyclical kind of in and out kind of relationship. But, I mean, put it in the context that it will fit if it's not a romantic relationship. For whatever reason, this situation was emotionally painful for you and or the other person. Maybe they didn't want to grow up in some sort of way, or they just emotionally didn't have anything to give to this situation. So I feel like what you're unaware of is that there's going to be movement in this situation. This talks about, the 3 of Pentacles talks about like showcasing, meeting of the mind's like traditional milestones. It's in the reverse. So it's like kind of non-traditional or out of the norm, but there is movement. It's just maybe you're not able to see it at this time, or it's more of an internal private thing that's going on. There's a unity of some kind. There might be some sort of informal gathering. Maybe somebody's having a baby in the family and there is a baby shower. This is what this could be speaking of, but it would be like a smaller event. It wouldn't be super fancy or anything. Yeah. This could also be a sudden shock or realization that someone is pregnant in the family. With the letter here, with the cross and the tower here. But I'm thinking it's more of like a spiritual awakening of some sorts. you yourself would probably be going through this spiritual awakening because it is in the house of self. Something about your future is coming into play. You're getting news about some sort of future wish, dream come true, some sort of goal that you've wanted to attain. This could be financial. It could just be having to do with the resources, because I said that the resources were lacking. And this is the second house of resources, and you're getting a dream come true, a wish. The divine is stepping in and giving you what you need. So if you needed money for something, in order to do something, you're getting that money. If you needed help in some sort of way, you're getting that healing or that help. Maybe if this is about someone that you know having some, I wouldn't say medical problems, because it's not really the health area, but this is. So I don't know if it's that this person, because he is a healer, he is a doctor, right? He can be somebody who nurtures other people, the King of Cups, but he's in the reverse. Maybe he's giving bad news about that in the past, and now there's good news coming in and healing coming in with the Star card and this letter here. In the near future, I see realizing that you are fully satisfied, that you have everything that you could hope for and more. Realizing that you're grateful for what you have. You might be spoiled in some sort of way. If this is about a job, you are getting that sudden, like, I got the dream job, I've got the contract, I've got something. It just, with the sun here, it's like, this is where the light's shining. It's being shown that you are happy, like a happy fat cat here. He's like pleasantly plump. He has had enough to eat. He's got so much nice drink behind him. You know, he's good. He's good for a while. And it's in the house of what's good for us, right? So you're suddenly realizing this, what's good for you and what's going to give you the satisfaction that you are looking for. Or this person is finally realizing that. But I think it could be about your job. It could be like finally you land a dream job and you're just so happy. You're like, I can't believe that I got this particular job. And it's just like perfect fit for me. And I'm like more than happy to go to work every day. My routine is getting better. There's just like something here about being so happy with the news that you're receiving in terms of your health, your work, in terms of what you do for others even. You might find that you find your soul purpose, and that's maybe what the spiritual awakening is about. What your advice is. Your advice is to stand your ground and defend how far you've come this far. Defend your reputation. So if anybody in the past had tried to like emotionally manipulate you in some sort of way, or maybe you got laid off from a job or dumped from a relationship, stand up for your own reputation, your status. Defend your position. That's what it's saying. It's also like the house of partnership, right? So you're defending. It's not like, it's like you're tired of the same old. You've been through a lot and you want to finish this cycle, but you're not quite there yet, but you're ready to give up. It's telling you to not give up because you're so close to achieving the status, the recognition, the admonition of others, or being admired in a romantic relationship, for your tenacity, for your strength, for your ability to shine, really. You're going to be very attractive to other partners in the year 2025. You might move homes in the year 2025 as well, because maybe somebody is not looking to renew a lease, or maybe you have a roommate or a partner has left the situation, and now you're needing to look for a different place. This talks about movements of the home with the stork here. But you got your family on your mind a lot. It might be that like somebody in your family is, that they could be arguing. There could be somebody that you're related to is dating somebody that you don't really care for that much. Maybe there's like some sort of, you're thinking about like some new attraction that you have, but maybe that person's in a relationship or has a family, and so you're trying to maybe avoid that person. I don't know what it is. The King of Wands, he's like, I don't really see him as like the nicest person. He may just be unable to create anything, or like a creation of some kind has failed and there's a new opportunity to create for this couple. So it could be about a couple in your neighborhood, in your life, a cousin, a sibling that's trying to have a baby, and they're having some complications with that, and then there's this new beginning. This seed takes place, it takes, and then there's some growth, because I have the Ace of Wands to the Tree card there. I keep thinking manipulator, because I have that Magician in reverse, and I have the King of Wands in reverse as well. So that's somebody who's kind of manipulative to get what they want out of people, and maybe there's somebody in your vicinity or in your family that you see as being somebody who's kind of shady. But I don't think it's necessarily affecting you. I just see you thinking about it a lot, or realizing like this is going on, and it's like something that's on your mind a lot during this year. It could literally be that your partner just doesn't want to have kids and you do, and you're worried about the timing of things. All right, so 8th house. How others are seeing you. They're seeing you as not wanting to put up a fight, or that you're backing down from some sort of confrontation of some kind, or you're like the mediator between, between folks, that you're trying to like put up a barrier and block whatever aggressiveness or agitation or competitiveness is going on. That might see you as a bit of a softie as well, or somebody who's maybe pretty sensitive during this time, somebody who can't handle a bunch. I don't think that's necessarily true, because I do have you here being strong. That's your advice, in your relationships, you're sticking your guns. You're like, well, I've come this far, no one's going to take this from me, type thing. If I have to fight one more battle or two, I will, but I don't really want to. But somehow you're a mediator. Somehow you're trying to not stress. Maybe they see you as somebody who is blocking somebody's aggressive tendencies, or blocking somebody. You might be blocking somebody on your phone. don't know why the Nine of Swords is like complete anxiety and distress, unable to sleep. But I also see it as like somebody who's just like, ugh, I don't want to deal with this. I can't deal with this anymore. Giving up on something. So I feel like, yeah, it's something about somebody bullying somebody else and you being the mediator between this. Or maybe that's what you do for work, because this is in the house of the mind, psychology and stuff. So maybe you work in psychology, like the psychological fields, psychiatry, therapist. The moon can also be about our emotional state, and this person might be emotionally exhausted here from going through all this energetic strain with the Nine of Wands. It's also about recuperating from something. It could be like your partner has had surgery in the past and now they're recuperating, or a procedure done and now they're recuperating. They're finding balance, they're healing, it's taking time, but if it's not like a physical surgery, if it is, I see that the health and everything is going pretty good. Everything seems honky-dory in the 6th house. I think, yeah, once you cut out some sort of burden, or like you have just done it, it starts to open you up to new possibilities, and the future looks much brighter. I just see the future looking much brighter for you. Yeah, you might be stressing over other people's resources too, like fighting over things, but there's some sort of block there. There's some sort of like inability to cooperate, and that's what's causing the challenges, and that might stress you out at some point during the year. I don't think it's going to be like the end of everything, the end of the world, but it just is. At some point you might have an argument about shared resources, or dealing with people who are lashing out for no particular reason, at least not a good one. It also, the 5 of Wands is like just frustration for frustration's sake, because there's like another obstacle that you have to deal with. So it could just be that your mental health is starting to get a little strained from everything that you've just accomplished or have gone through, and you might need to take a break at some point during this year. It's also about your power, this house, right? So taking your power back from something, or not putting in the energy to argue with people and focusing on yourself, trying to heal yourself and your anxieties, putting up blocks to people who are just causing you mental anguish of any kind, stressing you out for no reason. Your beliefs, what you're hoping for, your spirituality. I see you breaking through some sort of mirage or illusion about family values, legacy. There is some sort of facade or some sort of illusion or confusion that is cleared up within the family. It could be about the family home. It could be about your family in general, or family money even. But you're just hoping that this situation ends up getting cleared up, and you just want to make sure that you know what you have in front of you, like you're seeing everything clearly. And it looks like you do. You might be hoping to get a house this year, start a family. Yeah, long range thinking. You're just hoping for a family. So this could be about family planning, worrying about timing, worrying about relationships not working out, and you're like, when is it going to work out so I can move forward with this situation, or make these milestones, like I said before. You might realize that somebody isn't meant for you or just have, and then now you're starting over with, new prospects. Your goals have tweaked. You're changing. You might not have that other person, or you might not have that other element anymore, but you're still able to work with what's around you. You're learning to work with what you have around you in order to achieve your long-term goals. There's some sort of new beginning that allows the resources to come in. You might meet somebody, a woman that helps, or a person that helps the situation, in terms of financial solutions. So yeah, there's something here about financial solutions, some kind of influx of resources. You could possibly get a better job, and that allows you to family plan, or buy a house, or prepare for buying a house, start saving. There is something here that's a huge success in the near future, so I'm excited about that. Reputation. We have something about reputation here, standing your ground, not giving up the good fight until you've achieved your rewards, right? And then we have this card of the boss here, in the 10th house, authority in the 10th house. This is actually a good placement for the bear, because it's about being your own boss, maybe, being in charge at work, having a reputation for being an authority. So you could be somebody who works for the government. You could be somebody that works for any type of law, legal type of job. In this case, I'm thinking like somebody who's in charge of ending difficult situations for people. You might actually have to fire somebody this year. Maybe you're in charge of that kind of department. If you work for a big company, there's people that do maybe HR or something like that. I do have this man here with the scythe, and I have that 10 of swords. So I feel like these are related in some sort of way. You might be a police officer who sees some pretty brutal stuff at your job. And it could also be about your boss quitting, or getting laid off, getting fired, resigning. Maybe this is like a good thing for you. I don't see it being authority ends in some sort of way. So maybe you decided that you don't want to be that person anymore. You don't want to be in charge of other people. You don't want that kind of status, that reputation of being in charge of other people, or being involved with the hierarchy of things. Nine is about ending an old cycle and beginning a new cycle. So you could very well be getting a new job, and that way, being your own boss when you end this old career position. It might end pretty badly. Like, it might have been really a big struggle here. That's probably what that's talking about. The bear can also be about a mother. So if you had lost a pregnancy in past, or just missed out on having a baby with somebody you thought was going to be there for you to have a baby with. This could be about a medical procedure that enables you or ables you, to be able to be a mother. Maybe there was a difficult situation involving that, and you're able to now be seen as with the title that you want. So there's some difficulty that ends in order for you to gain some status, some authority, some kind of title of some kind. This is also about your destiny out in the world, what you do for others. So maybe you are a criminal investigator. You could have been going to school and trying to grow your knowledge here about that. And now you're starting to work out. You got a new job, starting to work out in the world, dealing with making sure that there's law and order, bringing an end to suffering in some sort of way. This could be a firefighter. I normally like the King of Wands when I have that. Or paramedic, maybe. In the 11th house of associates and your future goals, we have the King of Swords. This is somebody who advocates for others. This was a person that is intelligent, that can hold a debate, that knows their own opinions and respects the opinions of others and can see things from both sides of the story. So this can often be a judge. This can often be somebody who works in the judicial system as well. So that's kind of really strong there. With the Tower, it's also an organization. So this can be the government of any kind of, and it's talking about like society and humanity, and maybe there's some confusion going on in terms of, or an inability to see how things are going to pan out in the future with this authority figure of some kind. Maybe you're concerned about that. Maybe you are that authority figure and you're trying to make the best decisions for everyone involved so that we can move into the future in some sort of way. But I do see there's being some kind of strong mental anguish going on. A lot of stress with this 9 of Swords and the 10 of Swords. But now seeing that the 9 of Swords is down here in that 8th house placement of what other people think, of other people's resources. I don't know, maybe you're just stressed about the other people involved in a situation, like having to involve other people in a situation, not being able to be independent necessarily from other people's input. But there's some sort of status change that allows you to not have the overhead anymore, where you're able to make your own calls, your own shots. But you might be a little bit either confused, unaware, or just mentally kind of unclear about, there's like a fogginess about who's making who's calling the shots, who is in charge in terms of your colleagues, coworkers. Maybe that there's something here about somebody resigning or whatever, and you're waiting for that call into the office type thing. Or maybe there's something that's happened to somebody in the workforce. Maybe they had a situation that was some sort of painful ending of some kind, and it's caused some grief and some maybe depression, sorrow within the workforce. This can be also about your friends. So if it's not about getting trying to get clear about your future and your what you aspire to be, and your hopes and dreams for the future. It's about maybe a friend who has been dealing with some sort of depression, mental health issues, and having to be a support. Maybe that's your job, like I said, with the psychology flavor over here. But there's something here about depression affecting the workforce, affecting a friend of some kind, mental health. This can also be about being like a trauma. The Ten of Swords is trauma. Nine of Swords could be like CPTSD. There's just kind of stress, anguish. The Mountain can be about timing and the past even. So you're dealing with people who have maybe struggled in the past, who are now suffering from that. That could be what it is. You're clearing the situation for other people. You're bringing a light to other people, to other people's darkness in some sort of way, and that is making you feel very happy and fulfilled in your work life. The 12th house. This is very interesting. The Four of Wands in reverse and the Tower both can speak about a structure, some kind of actual physical environment. Can actually be about a place where people celebrate or throw parties. However, they're in a house that's not about structure. They're in an ethereal, spiritual, magical kind of house. This is about doing good for others, this house, like giving of yourself, sacrifice. This can be about overwhelming events. So this is also about trauma. This is a house of undoings, of hidden tendencies as well. If it's not about you kind of getting out of a relationship and being okay, finally being okay with being alone or standing on your own in a situation, it could be about an institution that helps people who are less fortunate or unable to afford housing. So this could be about working for a housing authority. This can be about working for any kind of philanthropic giving to people who don't have homes, building homes for other people, building a shelter for other people, starting a women's shelter or single mother's shelter. There's something here about, yeah, because the castle's in the background here and it's pointing downward. It's almost you're almost unable to see that there's more behind them in that photo. So I feel like, and there's a flag there. Is there a flag in this one? There's a moat around it. So it's almost unattainable. So people who are, there's been blockages, restrictions with them getting housing, affordable housing, or being able to celebrate a milestone in their life. You are working for an organization or involved with some sort of organization that helps people who are overwhelmed or, unable to achieve a milestone of some kind in their life, or feel safe. I'll say that, even feel safe, because the Ten of Swords is there and the clouds. So you help others feel safe, or there's some sort of security that you offer, protection that you offer. It looks to me like if it's not about actual relationships, it's about your relationship with your soul purpose, Gemini. You coming into terms with where you want to go in life and who you want to be out in the world, your reputation of being a protector. The bear is a protector, and it stops bad things like the Ten of Swords from happening. You are the one that is the safeguard, the person that is going to be of assistance to others with that King of Swords there. I see you either working in a hospital setting, working in a legal setting of some kind. Something here about protecting others. Maybe it's an orphanage because children are present. So maybe you work, I mean, not an orphanage. We don't have orphanage. Do we have orphanages now? Probably not, right? Not like we used to have, thank God. So, I don't know. Working for DCF, working for as a social worker, something here about being an authority, helping children, helping mothers, helping people that don't have homes. There's helping people with mental health issues, people who have suffered trauma. So you're the wounded healer. I feel like, oop, as I knock you out. Yeah, you're like the wounded healer here. It's like Chiron, right? Your advice is to take your trauma, your past pains and milestones that you've had to go through in this life that probably weren't all that pleasant, and use that as a form of not being a victim necessarily, because this can be like a reputation of being the victim, or but I don't want to see it that way. I see it as like the warrior. You have a reputation of being a warrior. There's something here about you protecting, you honoring others who have had no mercy shown to them. You finding resources for others so that they can start new beginnings. You find the inner resources within yourself to find, bring yourself through all your trials and efforts to finding your soul purpose in order to help others who have gone through similar or, difficult situations. Uniting children with their families, doing something like that. This is very getting more and more clear for me now. You might have lost passion in an old job or something you were growing before, but now you're attracting this new beginning that will hold the test of time, that brings great promise and growth and health and happiness into your life and the lives of others around you. This is really nice. All right, Gemini, I hope you had a great December and that you have a great 2025. And I will see you next time.